This conference will now be recorded.
All right, everybody, it's 12 noon here on our Wednesday Business Lunch and Learn. Thank you for coming. We typically hold these events the second Wednesday of each month. If anybody ever has ideas or thoughts of different presentations they'd like to see, please feel free to reach out to us, the Renville County EDA. Our website is renville.com, and all of our contact information is on there. I'm going to be your speaker today. I'm Stephanie Ryan. I'm Renville County's Communications Coordinator and EDA Assistant. And I'm going to give you guys an overview of our Business Innovation Grant Program. So I'll do a short overview. I'll talk a little bit about the history. We'll go through the application, and then I'll talk about the scoring process. And then if you have any questions at the end, feel free to let me know. So Business Innovation Grants. This program was designed to assist our Renville County businesses with business development and growth opportunities. The program is funded through the HRA EDA levy. Each year we budget approximately $30,000. We hold 4 different application rounds each year. First one's due January 1st, second is April 1st, third is July 1st, and the 4th round is due October 1st, which is coming up here in a couple of weeks. We have $7,500 available for each quarter, and the awards are approved at the 4th Thursday after the applications are due at the HRA EDA board meetings. Just a short history. This program used to be called the Economic Leveraging Fund, and money was granted to each of the cities, and then they were able to grant it out. But in 2016, the board decided to make some updates and changes to the program. So that's when it became the Business Innovation Grant Program. I'm not going to go through every single year, but as you can see on the screen, there's an overview of how many projects we've awarded funds to each year and how much we've funded, and then also how much the business has spent. So since 2016, total business project costs that have happened in the county have been approximately $7.3 million for those who have applied for business funds. And our total big funds awarded was just over $204,000. So the maximum grant amount that a business can receive each year is $3,000. Eligible uses include equipment purchases and upgrades, capital improvements, purchase, construction, renovation, or expansion of buildings, development or promotion of new product lines, commercial blight, professional development or employee training, tuition only, and information technology upgrades. So just a summary of the criteria. There's a minimum of a 1-to-1 contribution match from the businesses. So if you want to be eligible to apply for the full $3,000 grant, then your project has to be at least $6,000. So second bullet point, you need to expend at least twice the amount of the grant awarded in reimbursable costs. It has to be a specific project with potential to create or retain jobs or increase revenues of local businesses. And the application must be submitted to the EDA prior to your project being completed. So if you've already began, and as long as you're not done, you can submit the application. You're welcome to finish it after you submit it, but we can't 100% say that you're going to get funded at that point. And it looks like I have a question in the chat box. Is this seminar appropriate for nonprofits? And yes, it is. So as long as your business is operating as a business, I should say your nonprofit's operating as a business, then yes, you're eligible to apply. So the application can be found on the HRA EDA website, which is renville.com. If you go to the business tab, and then under Business Innovation Grant is where you'll find it. So I will pull that up here. So I'm on the Lunch and Learn page. So if we go to our main page, on the left side here for business, you hover over that, then you can click on the Business Innovation Grant. So this is basically just a short summary of the program. We do have the full grant guidelines available on here also in more detail. So you're welcome to click on that and learn more. And then the application is right here. So it's a relatively simple application. It's 4 pages long. The first section is just about the applicant. So we want you to fill out your business name, address, location, contact information, website, and then your federal and state tax ID numbers. The second section is for your business history. So we would like you to provide a brief narrative of the history, including when your business started. So just an overview of what you do, all of that. On the second page, there's a selection where you can check eligible use, whether it's equipment purchase, upgrade, developing new product lines, tuition, IT upgrades, etc. And then we move into the project summary. So put your project title, the date you began your project, and then an anticipated end date. And then this section, we would just like a brief summary of your project. So what's the need or problem? What's the solution? Explain your project and your outcome and goals. So if you're able to do that in 1 or 2 sentences, great. But when I get into the scoring process that I'll talk about here in a few minutes, the more information you can provide, the better. It just helps the big committee go through everything and score your application. So the next section is economic impact. So how will your project create or retain jobs and or benefit your business? The next section is funding. How will you fund your project if the Business Innovation Grant funds are not awarded? Do you have a backup plan? And then we go into the last page. So funding sources for the project. We want you to put your total project cost on the top. Second section, business funds available. So say your project costs $8,000, you're applying for $3,000, do you have the remaining funds available? And then if you don't, if you're taking a loan out from a bank or a financial institution, please list the information there and how much you're taking your loan out for. We have a section for other sources of funding. If you have different grants, if you have family putting money in, any type of other sources, please put those in there. And then the bottom section, this is where you guys want to put how much funding you're requesting from the EDA Business Integration Grant. So if your project's $3,000, you'd probably want to put $1,500 in here for your request. And then just sign and date the bottom. So for grant applications, it's a relatively simple one. If you guys have questions when you're filling it out, we'd be more than happy to go through it with you. If you want to come into the office, we can fill it out with you. We've done that a few times. So don't be afraid to reach out to us. And then I will go into a little bit about how the applications are scored. So every application that comes in is saved. And then we have, as you can see on the screen, our scorecard. So we have 3 committees or 3 people on our executive committee, and then all of our staff members, which are 3 more of us. So we each go through each individual application by ourselves. We read through them and we score them through these criteria. So 1 is the application turned in on time? Yes or no. If it's not, then you're not eligible until the next round. Completeness of application. Did you guys fill everything out? Did you include your budget information, contact information, all of that? Is the project an eligible use? Yes or no. Organizational history. How much did you guys describe about your business? How much information did you give us? Project summary. Again, the same thing. Can we read the application and totally understand what your project's going to be, or are we going to have a lot of questions? So again, the more information you can provide, the better. Economic impact. Is your project going to create or retain jobs? Budget information. And then since daycare or lack of daycare is such a huge issue in our county right now, we do have an extra section in there for in-home or daycare centers. They do get an additional 5 points for applying right now. The next section, was your business previously awarded a grant? If you got one last year, you'd get 1 point. Down on the line, 4 years ago, you get 4 points. And if you've never applied or received before, you'd get 5 points. And then the project type, the board decided that training, equipment purchases, and technology purchases would get 2 points. And then more of the building maintenance improvement projects would get 1 point. So this is actually an Excel spreadsheet. So everything adds up. You get your average total score, and then there's a formula in there that recommends awarded amounts per project. So once all of us do that individually, then we do have a big committee meeting, and all of the scores that everybody does is put into one scorecard, and then everything is averaged out. So all that is done, and then after it's reviewed, we do give recommendations to the full HRA EDA board, and then they approve or deny everything, and they have the final say. So that's just a short overview of the process and how to apply. Again, the next round coming up will be due October 1st, and that'll go to our board meeting the 4th Thursday of the month. And after that, you would either receive an award letter or a denial letter in the mail, along with a grant contract to sign. Even if you're awarded a project in January versus October, all of the receipts in the project needs to be completed by December 9th of 2022, and that gives our finance office enough time to cut checks before the end of the year. Does anybody have any questions on the Business Innovation Grant Program? I know it's kind of a short and sweet overview.
Can you hear me?
I did want to mention we also have a Community Impact Fund grant program. If any of you are on your city's EDA or your city council or work for the city, cities are eligible to apply for that. It's basically the same process, but it has to be for a community improvement project for the city. And those grants are up to $1,000, and they are due twice a year, April 1st and October 1st. And other than that, that was short and sweet, but that's about all I have on our Business Innovation Grant Program. Anybody have any questions? All right, well, it doesn't look so. So our next HRA EDA Lunch and Learn will be held October 12th at noon, and it will be virtually held online. And we do not have a speaker confirmed for that one yet. So if anybody has any suggestions, please feel free to reach out to us. And again, our website is renville.com, and our phone number is 523-3656. And you can also reach us at grants@renvillecounty.mn.com. Thank you, everybody, for logging in today, and I hope to see you guys next month.